Yo,
What up, my peoples?
What is up? It's your girl Nicole Renee.
We gonna have to start doing these intros because the girl want to do some intros.
Jay, I need you to send me a good picture, forward facing, and don't be putting all them filters that you like on there. No filters.
Damn, did she just call you Lionel?
yeah, I think you got me confused with another cousin. I don't even know how to work a filter.
But yeah, I did a good, just forward facing. Don't tilt your head trying to get a cute angle. Just like you taking a passport picture.
My angle's cute, hater.
Okay then. I'm just saying, when I looked through your Instagram, it took me a time finding the picture because all of them was like you was trying to.
I don't appreciate.
You got pictures on your Instagram?
Like 3. Of me, like 3.
And then I had him send me pictures, and they was all posing.
The devil is a liar.
Eyebrow raised and shit. Just look regular.
Devil is a liar. She starting with this shit.
Biting bottom lips.
Oh, hell no. You know she lied. Definitely got me confused with another one.
Nicole seemed like she had a good week. She in a good mood.
But now shit.
Because I helped somebody today. I really helped somebody today.
Who you help?
And I feel good about it.
Oh, you talking about help somebody with their house?
Well, she ain't got approved yet, but I was able to get everything done today. I talked to her and was able to get usually it's a couple days. You know, it take a few, but I was able to get everything done. Felt kind of bad. You know, she lost her job because she got COVID. Her baby got COVID and passed away 2 months ago. She got 5 other kids. And she looking at shelters and stuff because she's scared when she go to court next week, they going to give her a 7-day notice. And she ain't got nowhere to go. So we trying to hurry up and, get her, paid.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I like my job.
That's good news.
Jay, how was your week?
It was all right. I was feeling a little weird earlier this week. Like I feeling like I was coming down with a cold, but didn't realize that this weather in Chicago is so weird. My allergies be messing with me. So other than that, I'm good.
You gonna get tested?
Go get tested for what?
COVID, just to be sure.
I'm sure.
I didn't say sure. I said show.
Lavelle? I got some words for your sister ass.
I'm trying not to be typical Lavelle here with all the other people, you know what I'm saying, because I took everything in me to say, so hope she was vaccinated. Making the cold face.
What, the baby or her? She don't have it no more. She survived it.
Okay.
Oh, then look. That joke turned morbid real quick.
I was talking about the lady anyway. You know, I don't make jokes about babies.
Yeah, she survived it. Her baby, her 1-year-old died.
Look.
The baby died.
So the one, yeah, from COVID. So the 1-year-old didn't qualify from getting it anyway. They both went into the hospital in May with COVID. She got out in June. The baby stayed and passed away in July.
What does that mean? She didn't qualify from getting it?
Because under 12 years of age, you can't get vaccinated. Under 12.
Oh, you talking about qualify for the vaccination?
Yeah.
No, I thought you meant she didn't qualify for COVID. What that mean? That's what I thought she said. I'm sorry.
All you need is a pulse to qualify for COVID. Goddamn it.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Other than that, my week was all right. Well, it depends on how you say. We lost our football game, man, last week. Hurt my heart.
Kind of the norm, though, ain't it?
Was this the one you was talking about? They might have a hard time.
No. That was my varsity.
Did they win or lose?
What?
I guess they didn't win because you would be ecstatic if
No,
they
they didn't win. They wasn't nowhere close to a win.
Oh, well, that's okay. It's all for fun, right?
What?
Hell no. Who the fuck play to be number 2?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's fun.
Girl, this is the thing. I don't mind losing. I'm saying, like, and I told his kids, I mean, it's no problem losing because somebody has to lose. But it's how you lose, you know what I'm saying? And for just giving up or just, you know what I'm saying, not even putting forth an effort to lose like that, that's just unacceptable. We don't do that. So, we don't do that. And if you saw that game, it didn't look like they put forth any effort.
So giving them the wrong message, telling them you don't mind losing.
No. That's what you talked to him after the game. I don't mind losing. I said,
you just said you don't mind losing.
I said there's nothing wrong with losing. And somebody has to lose. And it only could be one winner. It's how you lose, though. Saying that if you go in there and get that shit up, no. If you give everything you can and you played your hardest, did everything you're supposed to do, and you still came up short and lost, there's nothing wrong with that loss.
I agree.
There's everything wrong with that loss.
I agree. Because listen, like when I did American Idol, right? I was there for a week. The first time I went up there, I stepped forward. I had to sing. Everybody singing the same songs, right? Same 2 songs, Saving All My Love for You or Respect. I sang Respect every weekend in the band. So I'm like, I'm not singing Respect. So I sang Saving All My Love for You. But I'm thinking, shoot, it's 100 people here. How can I be different? So instead of starting from the beginning, I start from the middle part, right? Where the little climax part. And so Simon's like, you didn't have to prove you can hit that note. It's like, dude, really? Just trying to evoke something. And so because I didn't come back at him and say nothing, I just stepped back. Thank you, you know. So now when they coming back, calling us back, deciding who they gonna cut, right? This is off camera. They didn't show this part on camera. They called me back as one of the ones I guess they were unsure about. And I guess because I didn't show personality, you know, because Paula kept saying, act like you want to be here. Show, you know, that you know, excited. And I'm just feeling like, child, I don't want to be here no more. But I sang, this time I sang it just like everybody else sang it. And I sounded better than I did the first time. And then when I started singing, all of them, they looking down, all of them looked up. I know I sounded good. So when I did get cut, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like I got cut because I wasn't good enough. I know I sounded good, and I know I sounded better than a lot of people there, and I know why some people stayed, and I know why I left. So that loss wasn't a bad loss because it wasn't like I fucked up, you know?
There is no such thing as a
real quick, hold up, before you go, Jay. I need you to talk to your brother and let him know that he has like some physical deformities. He been picking and throwing little shit at me for the last day or something, no fucking reason. I'm gonna wind up getting in his ass. Pause. I ain't said nothing with the group text. You know, I saw that little shot. I shut up. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to get him, but I was
I saw that little shot. I left it alone. Why he dragged me into this? I ain't even saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? He asking for it. You know what I'm saying? And he know better. See? He think he can handle it. Then he gonna be sitting there talking about you ain't supposed to talk about retarded people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Can't say that word. Can't say that word.
You can say it when you talk about him. Oh, back to the rest of my week though. The rest of my week shaping up to be good, y'all. We got homecoming this week. We playing South Holland. I'm actually ready to play right now. My kids ready on my team. Everybody, my varsity is a work in progress right now, so we ain't gonna talk about that. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying, we pretty much ready. If y'all in the area, we play on that Thorn Ridge High School, 147th, 148th. Is that 148th, 149th? The side where Harold's Chicken at.
That's 148.
148th in Cottage Grove. We're gonna be there now. It's homecoming, so we're gonna be out there. We got people barbecuing, music gonna be playing. We're gonna be living it up. So if y'all in the area, come on through, hang out for that. There should be some really good football games. Everybody kind of excited. We playing South Holland. We haven't played them in years. We used to beat up on them all the time, and now they finally came into our league. So we trying to beat the brakes off of theirs. But I'm excited for football this week. That's how my week is looking. Did say I love what?
He trying to say I said I love y'all or something, you know.
Yeah, I saw his message. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a backhanded compliment. You know what I'm saying? For no reason, too, though. That's what I'm saying. For no reason. I hadn't engaged at all. Left it alone. That's what happens, though, when you don't talk about somebody for a while. You know what I'm saying? He want to come around lie about his weight. Tell people, what I'm saying, he 190 pounds or some shit like that.
Come on, man.
Sorry, we ain't gonna air dirty laundry on here. Let's go ahead and we can get into some other conversation. You know what I'm saying? Anything exciting happening through y'all week?
Sam, I got I won't be here next week. My anniversary next week, so I'm being.
So what?
I'm out of.
We're trying to build something here. Y'all already built that.
We're trying.
You trying to go build some more?
Gonna be in the 305.
All right, so we're gonna be getting pictures or something, content. We're gonna be.
What's the 305?
Miami.
Oh,
yeah.
That's like the worst state for COVID, Florida.
Okay.
Are you vaxxed?
My business.
Don't answer that question.
That's a hippo violation, ain't it?
A hippo. Yeah, hippo.
A hippo. I'm sorry. Now, other than that, we got things going. We supposed to be. We have a mini contest. Not really a contest. It's just some what would say accountability partners throughout a couple of the guys we're going right now, just to make sure we start doing some of the stuff we're supposed to be doing offline with content and putting out some other things. So this next week and a half or so should be pretty exciting for us.
I promise. Matter of fact, I'll probably come see you this weekend for sure. It'll be before Tuesday for sure.
You got syrup and capsules?
Mind your business. See, that's a HIPAA violation right there.
I'm reading it. It was on the screen. It was on the screen. I mean, there was a lot going on. For y'all, well, I guess I can't say for y'all who don't know, because a lot of y'all, none of y'all are privy to our group text. But Jay and Nicole had a heated argument. Well, a heated discussion.
No, Jay had a heated discussion.
What you call your part of it?
I was cool. I was just responding.
Well, you know, text messages take a life of their own. You know, so when I went back to finally read all that, you know what I'm saying? It was heated.
It wasn't heated. That's why I kept saying poll, that he kept ignoring.
I do want
to. Would you like
I answered your question.
Let's do a poll.
Yeah. And then you responded with the one nigga that agreed with you. But
no, but that's because you didn't agree. You said let's start with on this thread. We never did.
Yes, you can, and let's start with the men in this thread.
But we never did. Nobody in the thread responded. Somebody else that could have.
Barbara, you only said, what were the other responses you got? I know you ain't just sent it to him.
I didn't do a poll.
Who else did you send it to?
I did not do a poll because you already know.
Can we say what it was?
Yeah, the poll was that basically he was trying to say what I said was most men do not have the boyfriend conversation with their daughters.
Can we
let me finish, please.
I got to get to the reason we even got to that subject.
No, let me finish. He asked, what was the poll? Can I get it out?
Jesus. No, he was asking what we was
So,
talking about.
so the poll was gonna be reason I said most men don't talk to their daughters about boyfriends and stuff like that. That's usually the mother's, territory or whatever. And he goes, "That's not a fact." And I said, "It is a fact." Just fucking with him. I'm like, "It is a fact." I said most, not all. So then he want to go into, and then of course his brother Captain Save him want to jump in like he always got to save his little baby brother. That's not true. Did Uncle Paul talk to you about boys? Hell to the no, he didn't. Shoot, I was 24 and 27 when I had my kids and was still scared to talk to him. Egypt is close with her daddy and do not want him to know she has a boyfriend. So I'm not saying men don't talk to their daughters about that, but mostly they don't. And when they do, they're not going to be talking about there's some really good men out there. Most men, when they had that conversation, is because they're putting their daughter up on game because they want shit. So they want their daughters to, they put their daughters up on game.
What the man talking to his
That's
daughter.
still not no majority.
When did you get a dick?
None of you, mind your business.
When did you get a dick?
Mind your business.
How you know what men talking to their kids about?
Because I'm not a man don't mean I don't see and I don't understand and I don't see what's going on around me. Just like the one guy I sent and I only did that just to write quick, send you something as we were talking. I sent it to a male friend who's married and straight up asked him quick question. Did you have, because his daughter's 30. Did you have a baby and got boyfriends that he don't really approve of? Did you had a boyfriend conversation with your daughter, or was that your wife's territory?
I got a question.
He said she did it.
What's the boyfriend conversation?
That's what I was trying to get to.
So the boyfriend conversation was, one of y'all would have to read it because
the question.
One of y'all would have,
please, woman.
One of y'all would have to read it
because the question was, when mothers and
don't cut me off, Jay. You don't like for me to cut you off, so don't cut me off. And I've been doing good not cutting people off, so
I'm gonna preface
don't
this
get me started again.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I sent this to the group, who is myself, you, our producer, and Nicole, and I said thoughts.
Calm down.
Question was,
take some of that hostility out your
mothers. Do we rather teach our daughters the narrative of A, true love and faithful men exist, or B, be strong and prepared to be let down by men in your life? That's what the conversation was.
That's not all of it, because it says choose one or something like that, right?
Well, it said I'm having a hard time
deciding which one to teach my daughters. And this is
it said I'm having a hard time. Read exactly what it say.
I seriously struggle deciding which I should lean more towards with my daughters. The same
lean more towards.
It say choose one on there.
Yeah, and it says choose one.
Choose only one.
After that.
Yeah, it says choose only one. Because I read it when you first sent it. I was in the store, and the first thing I did was show it to the lady at the cashier, and I asked her opinion.
And what'd she say?
She said B.
Yeah, I said B.
She said B.
Every female I asked said B. And it said lean more towards. You got to pick one. If I had to pick one between those two, it's going to be B. Not saying tell her men ain't shit, because we already love and our nose be open. We not saying teach them that just men ain't nothing. But I'm going to tell you, my mama was with my dad, got married to my daddy when she was 19. And I'm going to just tell you one little nugget she told me, because my mama raised me like that. And I had great relationships, even though they turned out to not be shit. But I wasn't all broken up because of
that. I had great.
Let me finish. And one nugget that she told me was, she told me never get an apartment with a guy if you can't afford it and he walks off from you. She wasn't telling me guys ain't shit, but she was preparing me that things happen with guys and everybody ain't. You might feel like, oh, he's love. I love him. He's great. That's one thing she told me. And guess what happened when Egypt was 4 months? Was told, let's get this apartment. It costs $1,100. We can afford this together. But I'm thinking, well, my mama told me this. I know I can't afford it by myself. So I'm like, well, maybe that's too high. That costs a lot. No, we can do it together. I'm like, well, let me see if I can find something else. Because at the time I was making $9.50 an hour. They cut my hours down. I was working 1 to 2 days a week. I was getting SSI for Tristan, which only $600 a month. And the band wasn't every single weekend. So I was severely underemployed, but I was making it, right? I wasn't asking nobody for no money or nothing like that, but I knew $1,100, that's a damn lot. I wasn't working at the county yet. So I found another place, 585. We signed the lease together in October. November moved in. By December, he stopped coming home. Find out he done moved and got a place with somebody else from his job. And then gave me a check for $150, not even half the rent. So had I moved in at $1,100, I would have evictions on me. I would have had move with my small kids back home with my mama. So she wasn't teaching me that men ain't shit. She was just teaching me to not be naive. And that's what B says to me, to not be naive, not to teach you to be bitter, because I wasn't bitter or scorned. I just know what to look out for.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all you got to say is okay.
I had this conversation earlier. I don't want to keep regurgitating.
I wasn't privy to the conversation. Have it again.
So it's like I don't want to keep saying the same. We're not going to agree. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you're never not going to agree now.
But Shaka, that wasn't what my poll was. It wasn't that just because she don't want to talk to him about it doesn't mean he doesn't want to. We're not talking about what you want to do, because Jay, based on how he talks, I know he would probably want to have this conversation with his daughters. We're not talking about what you want to do. We talking
about the liar too earlier.
We talking about what actually happens. Like when I talked to one of my other friends today, she said, oh, I talked to my dad about relationships, but I initiated as an adult. If she's having an issue with a guy, she might want to vent and talk to her dad about it. But that's nothing he comes to her and say, hey, let's have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about wanting to have this conversation. The poll was about who actually has this conversation. And if both parents are in the life of the month, usually, and I'm not saying men don't do it. That wasn't my point. I understand men do talk to their daughters, because some daughters are closer to their fathers than their mothers. But the majority of the time, certain relationships or certain conversations a mother has with a daughter, just like certain conversations a father has with a son. Tristan, father, not even there like that. I'm the only one, but certain things he still look at me and say, I don't want to talk to you about, and he would rather talk to a man about.
I feel like my only issue with everything that you're saying is I feel like specifically men and women, really, I don't like when we put generalization on the other sex based off of solely your experience. If you were to tell me that
it's not my experience,
if you were to tell me that if you were to say my experience is that majority of the men that I've encountered don't talk to their daughters, I could say, okay, fine. I can't argue with that. That's your experience. But when
it's not what I've encountered.
When you generalize all men or most men, that's unfair. Like you know
what I don't like? You know what I don't like? What you do, because obviously I don't know everybody in the world, but you pretend to not know a general what generally happens. You pretend to not know. You pretend to not know when something is like, you pretend to not know when something generally happens to prove your point and say, that's not true. You don't know that. There's some fathers, just because that's your experience, when you know good and damn well that generally speaking, women have female conversations with their daughters. Generally speaking, I'm not saying that that's the rule. I understand it's not the rule. I understand it's not the rule. I understand that some men do have conversations with their daughters, just like some women have conversations about women with their sons. Because even though Tristan don't feel comfortable, I've initiated conversations with him about women and talk to him about some women and talk to him about, this is how you are. I don't want no woman doing you like this. I've initiated that conversation with him, even though he was uncomfortable. Most men don't initiate a conversation like, okay, let's have a seat and talk about, there's some good men out here and there's some bad men.
I got a question.
Before you get into your question, please call her on that bullshit she just said.
What bullshit?
My question is,
no. Don't
what
have
bullshit?
Me
my question is, let me get my question out. My question is, how do you know what most men do?
How will I know what most women do?
You don't.
So I'm just generally speaking based on society and what
The
society
argument,
put
but
out
see,
there.
I think your
I'm just
argument right now is based off of the words you're using.
well,
Because
I'm basing it.
most men says that
I'm
you know how
basing
many
it.
men on the planet, you've polled all of these, and then the majority of the men on the planet do this.
I'm
And to
just
say
basing.
that is
Listen,
disrespectful to the men that
listen.
you're talking to.
This is what I'm basing it off. I said it's. I said I already acknowledged that. I'm sure Jay would want to talk to him about his daughters. I'm not saying you're. And if it don't apply, let it fly. If you're not in that number, I ain't talking about you.
But we don't know what the number is because you keep saying the
But I'm
majority of
saying
them.
generally speaking. But I also acknowledge that there are men that don't fit into that. There's always exceptions to the rule.
The
I'm
thing about
basing
it
it.
though, if you
I'm
say
basing.
most men, that's like saying 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 3.
I'm
So that
basing.
means one of these 3 cats that you're talking to that's in this group with you is a no good nigga. Is a no good man.
That don't
say
mean you
most
no
men,
good because you don't have the girl conversation and you
I'm
leave
not
that
speaking.
up to the
I'm not
woman.
speaking in this particular conversation. I'm saying how you generalize it because we do get into this a lot. Every time it's come up, your thing is most men do this. And when we say, nah, men ain't like that, then you'll say something like, what I see is, and from what I'm seeing and where I'm from.
And can I explain why? I'm not talking about men I personally low. What I'm talking about is what I see. I don't social media.
How do you
Listen to me.
exclude
Can I
them if you
finish? Can
see
I
them?
even get it out? Can I get it out,
But I'm
Jay?
saying, how do you? But I'm saying though, like before you keep going, how do you exclude a portion of that from your point? That makes no sense. You just like you just told me I cherry pick shit to prove my point. You do the exact same thing you accuse me of. You just said the men that I see, y'all don't count. So I'm gonna take the good men out of this and just focus on the negative. You can't separate the two. If we talk about men, regardless of whether or not we good, bad, or indifferent, just because we family don't mean that we not men.
And let me finish my point when you get through. The bottom line is I'm basing what I'm saying off of what they showing on TV, what they show in media,
Cliff Huxtable will talk to his kids.
what they showing us in on social
Carl
media,
Winslow talk to his daughter.
what they showing us on social media, the men
Uncle
that
Phil talk to
actually
his daughter.
on social media, the actual men that's not on TV that make comments about
What was
certain
Damon Wayans'
things.
name?
So that's what I base it off
Michael
of. That's
Kyle.
why I said take a
Michael
poll.
Kyle talk
And
to his
most
daughter.
men, if we took a poll, we're not talking about what you want to do. You have daughters that's dating. Have you sat them down and talked to and had the boyfriend conversation? And
What is the boyfriend conversation? I asked that earlier. You didn't
the
tell me.
question that was posed, do you lean towards A or B? Are you having this conversation telling your girl, your daughters, either yes, there's true love and real men and monogamous, faithful men in the world, or are you telling them, hey, prepare, that there's gonna be some heartbreak out here?
I think the issue with that is that question was posed by a woman.
No, it was a dude. His name was Derek.
He's a woman.
It was told, man.
He was a woman.
Not that Derek Jones. It's not dude. It's a different Derek.
I'm saying how it was posed because in all actuality, either he's a woman or he's somebody who didn't have daughters because there's no A or B to that. Huh?
He got
but
daughters.
it's hypothetical.
Is,
so just humor him. It's
hypothetical. There's no A or B to that. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point you have to, if you're talking to your daughters, you still got to let them know there are good men out. There is true love out and you can't find it. But then at the same time, you don't send anybody outside of your house unprepared for anything, you know what I'm saying, that could or might happen. You try to prepare your child for anything that could happen. So the answer is A and B, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, most women, and I'm going to just tell you, I ain't going to say most women, but the women that, like the woman you asked at the counter, like I talked to Legs, asked her the question, how I felt as soon as I read it. It's not because we're not looking at it like you're not teaching them A. That's not it. But it said I'm having a hard time what I'm leaning more towards. And if I had to choose between A and B, it would be B. You're going to love anyway. We're not teaching them not to love and think there's not men out there.
I understand that because at the end of the day, you want to protect your child. I understand that. So there's not a fight to say, oh, you're going to teach them B, you shouldn't do that. What I'm saying as a guy who has daughters.
Well, your cousin said it's self-serving to only say one.
Huh?
Your cousin said it was self-serving.
What you mean it's self-serving?
Both.
I mean, in my opinion, you have to do both. But I'm not a mother.
I don't run in circles with men. I'm talking about what I see. every day from people I don't know. When men have conversations, older men have conversations, most of the time they say, oh, that's the wife's job. Just like when you have that period conversation with the girls having periods. Yeah, there's some men. My mama said her daddy, she went to granddaddy and granddaddy told her about periods. She didn't go to grandma. She went to granddaddy, but that's generally not the norm. And she acknowledged that.
Jay, Shaka, I want you to repeat A and B, please.
Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna go as far as I need to go for my babies to understand the conversation. Shaka, however
Oh,
far I need to go.
she asked Jay, how, what did she say? So Jay, with your girls, when it's time to have a relationship talk, how far would you go with the conversation? Okay.
I'm gonna go as far as I need to go. Like I expressed to Nicole earlier, my daughter's in first grade and she talking about a crush. Obviously, it's not as serious as a conversation you would have with a 6-year-old, but boys do come up. So at the level that they are, you got to break it down to them at that point. But if it does get to a point where my daughter's falling in love with somebody or I feel like she's being taken advantage of course I'm gonna teach her both. I'm gonna try to explain to her both ends of the spectrum. Yes, there is true love out there, but there also are people that will take advantage of you. So you do need to be prepared, but not so hard that you don't open your heart to people.
But I
But
also think that depends on your child and the personality. Because like with me, I got two daughters, and even though they are cut from the same cloth, they different in personality wise. You know what I'm saying? So
but
the conversation I
you got to
hmm?
take that into account anyway because everybody's different.
But I'm saying
Nobody's
that shaped how I had what conversation I had with them. You know what I'm saying? So like I was forced to have a different conversation with my 20-year-old daughter, who's 20 now, than I was with my 24-year-old daughter. You know what I'm saying? My older daughter, it was an easier conversation to have because she already kind of her personality is totally different. So my younger daughter, it was more so, hey, look, guys not like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was my younger daughter, it was more B. It was B with about that much of A sprinkled in, but it was more so like I gotta let you know how guys is, you know what I'm saying? And this is what goes on with certain things. So yeah, I think it depends on the kid. It depends on the kid. And you just gotta know your kid. You have to be honest enough to know your child. You can't be one of them, oh my kid wouldn't and my kid ain't and my kid couldn't do these certain things. You know what I'm saying? That shapes the conversation, I think, most of the time. I'm not saying that you have to withhold things, but like with my older daughter, I'd have to sit her down and be like, look, guys ain't shit, you know what I'm saying, and all they want is one thing and stuff like that. I didn't have to do that. So question, if you were in a loving relationship with a man who takes care of you and your family, treats you like a queen, caters to you mentally, physically, and emotionally, would you still pick B? Me, I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
be in that relationship, so
Oh, yes, I would still pick B because while my daughter is watching this beautiful relationship, she sees an example of a good loving relationship, but I still gotta let her know what's out there. I still would pick B because everybody ain't that lucky.
um,
I still think
yeah,
environment and things dictate that. I think if your child is in a certain environment, then you don't have to. You probably not gonna lean too much toward B. If like depending on, I mean, situations. I think if say for lack of better phrase, she in an affluent school, you know what I'm saying, where they the nerdy people and stuff. You don't get to that point where you want to start talking B until she had her heart broke. Now you trying to soothe her, and that's when you come out with little guys ain't this and blah blah blah. And you got to protect yourself and the most and stuff like that. Usually when it come out, if you don't see any signs where you have to talk to her about, you know what I'm saying, protecting yourself, putting up a guard, you don't really do that with your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're not talking about watching their current relationship. Let's just say they ain't never been in a relationship, but they're at that age. Because I talked to Egypt about boys before she had boyfriends.
Okay. Maybe, but see, okay, maybe that's why I can't relate. Maybe that's a mother's thing. Because most of the time we're fathers, most of the time we're reactive instead of proactive, and that's because we are forced to be reactive. You know what I'm saying? Like I hounded my daughters about boys all the time. You know what I'm saying, what little boy you like? Who you think cute at school? And of course, as a dad, you get that lie. Ain't nobody cute. I don't like nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you find out through a back end channel that she supposedly got this little boy who her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Now when you bring it up, then the deer in the headlights is, huh? What? Like, yeah, I need to meet him, bring him around. I need to talk to this little boy, stuff like that. So it takes a lot more from a father. So I mean, us answering that question is harder than A or B, because what, for us to answer it, it comes with reasons that we're saying whatever it is we're saying. Like with my younger daughter, she liked to dress a certain way, and her mom thought it was cute. You know what I'm saying? So my thing, my reason for having that conversation is let her know that it's not cute. You know what I'm saying? Guys, especially when you're shaped beyond your age or beyond your years, you know what I'm saying? Men don't care. And so yes, there is love in the world, but let's talk about this point where you're at now. I have to prepare you for what's going to transpire when you walk outside of these doors, because I'm late in giving the conversation to you, because for all these years while you was running with boy, and I'm study every time I see, hey, what little boy, and it's nobody. All of a sudden you a nun or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I find that we always the last to find out when it comes. We find out when somebody needs their ass beat.
I think like Maine and possibly Jay, because I don't know what he thinking. You know, it's assumption. I don't know what he thinking, but possibly Jay think when I pick B, it's on some old bitter men ain't this. I never felt like men ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that one to claim that and say men ain't this or men are dogs. I ain't never been that one.
I
So
don't think
when
he
I
thought
talk
that, because
about,
from what I read, he said. I mean, I don't think he was saying that you were wrong with what you picked. He was just saying,
no, I'm talking about the comment that um Danielle just put, like, but what if she take it like, oh, so you saying daddy really ain't shit? Ain't nobody saying men ain't shit. That ain't how I'm explaining to her, like men ain't shit. You just preparing that, hey, there's gonna be heartbreak. You know, I don't want you all broken up and crying over dudes. There's gonna be plenty of dudes. You're 16. Everybody not gonna treat you how you treat them or how you think you should be treated. So it ain't about thinking men ain't shit. It's really a people thing, because I tell her the same thing about girls and friends.
and Tasha, to answer your question, huh?
I feel like to think to explain one, and to be honest, even when you just said that, you don't necessarily explain. Just be prepared to be hurt. You just let them know what life is. I feel like to explain one without the other is giving two different messages. I feel like if you go with A and just tell your child that everything's gonna be all roses, you basically gonna raise your child to be naive. And if you raise them and with just B, then you're gonna raise them to have some hardness in their heart when it comes to certain shit, and it's gonna be tough for them to allow people to love them. So I feel like you need a healthy mix of both, and that was the only thing that I was saying in the messages earlier. But I feel like when me and Nicole talk through text, everything kind of becomes like a
Everything.
you know what I mean? Like everything is, and I explained it multiple times in the text. Like, yo, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but I feel like you need a healthy mix of both to get that balance, because one without the other is gonna put your
Can
kid
I
on the
be
spectrum.
honest?
Can
Can I be
Nicole just be
honest?
like going back and forth with you in the text?
No, can I be honest? So when you was saying that stuff, you wasn't like making a paragraph for me to read. You was like making a sentence, then coming back. You had like four, five, boom, 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 boom. I skipped over all that shit. And I'm like, okay, you just want to just say some stuff. Because I felt like, oh, you just trying to
He was
I
just
ain't gonna
making
read
points,
that.
son. I ain't reading none of these points. I'm just going to.
Right. Mm-mm.
Let me get to Tasha's question. Tasha asked, so do y'all have the same conversation about friendships she has for a friend? Honestly, I do. When
Oh,
I
I just
finally
said that.
when I finally talked to my daughter, when I kind of forced her to talk to me about boyfriends in high school, my thing was, okay, what's the purpose of having a boyfriend? What does this lead to? What do y'all do? What makes him your boyfriend? Anytime I hear some little boy is supposed to be your friend, I look cuz when I talk to her, Audrey, about it, it's the same thing. Oh, this little boy your friend, but y'all always around each other. He likes you. I mean, now it might get to a point where y'all been friends for so long where how he feels about you wanes, and it becomes, oh, you just my buddy. But in the beginning, he likes you. He waiting for an opportunity. He waiting for a chance, and that's what it is. And I explain that to my daughters all the time. But I don't like him. That don't mean he don't like you, because you don't like him does not mean he don't like you.
Right. But not even just boys, like what Tasha was saying, even girls.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, like with Egypt, it's the same thing. I don't, I teach her. It's just a people thing, I think. Like Tristan see the world through rose-colored
rosy glasses,
glasses.
boy.
Whew.
Everything great with my little nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're not gonna bother me. And it's like, listen, I don't want you to be going to see no little girl. It's about 10 niggas standing on the corner, they gonna see you coming a mile away, and all you thinking is, oh, they're just minding their business. No. Why? And he's like, but why would they bother me? It's like, dude, I just want you to be aware. Not saying everybody bad, but don't think just because you don't bother nobody just fucks with people just cause, you know?
Oh, okay. Shaka said that your daughter knows it's okay to cry and learn from that experience. Okay. But that does do them a disservice doing one or the other. I agree, Jay. A combo both is what gives them a healthy perspective. I
I think
agree
it
also. Like,
makes sense. Like I said, if you don't, you put them on the spectrum. You're gonna leave them either terribly naive or they're gonna have some form of wall, some wall built up to push back certain shit. Not to say that they won't ever find love, but it'll be hard for somebody to penetrate that wall.
yeah. Okay. Well, with that,
Possibly.
was there anything else y'all talked about in the group? Because y'all was sending some messages. I mean, I can get all of them.
We went back and forth about another message, but that one wasn't really a big deal. It was just about a guy, whether or not if a guy was this lady posted that if a guy doesn't touch you, if a guy touches you on the first date, then he's not into you. And then the man retorted that that's not true. If I touch you on the first date, that just means I want to have sex with you. And basically, whether or not you can hold my interest after I've already had sex with you is the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we went back and forth on that a little bit, but it wasn't as
I
deep
missed
as
that.
this one.
I
Yeah.
missed that.
And I was just saying I can kind of see it, you know. I can kind of see what she was saying. Not saying I totally agree, but when she said that, it just made me think of my situation. Like, okay, well, I can see why she say that. I don't necessarily think. Um, I honestly don't know what to really feel about that.
I
I
think we
just
would have to
know
define what she means when she says into you.
She
what
said that if a man is into you, if a man really likes you on the first date, he would he would fear touching you. He would be afraid to touch you.
I think we need to define into you because likes you. Because if he likes you, most time we got that means he wants some ass. Yeah, he damn
What
sure ain't
into
afraid.
you is? What other way is there to describe into you?
I mean, into you could be that he's looking for a long term. He want to try to do something different, like a
You would have
relationship
to
or something.
like them for that to be the case, though.
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
like I
I'm talking
think
about beyond physical.
and that's what I was thinking she meant, because if a guy sees something more than you than sex, then sometimes they are kind of like respectful of that and not jumping right into it right away. Cause I was just pointing out that it happened to me. So I could kind of see what she mean, but I don't necessarily believe that all around. You know, I think some guys might feel that way, but I think some guys will still be into you and see something and still gonna take it if it's offered or if it's there available, you know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one right there.
I think the terminology is what throws it off. He ain't
I
gonna
think
take it.
that's what
Yeah,
it
he ain't
is.
Oh, I don't mean take, you know what I mean, but
gonna.
accept it.
Right.
Well, anyway, getting into what I wanted to talk about because I'm the one who I asked my co-host here to talk about light skin versus dark skin in our community, and what it is my best friend who was a dark skinned woman. We were having a conversation, and her what she said to me was we were talking about um, being accepted as dark skinned men and dark skinned women, and we came to the conclusion that dark skinned men did become accepted much earlier than dark skin. We can't beat you like 92. I think it was that's when New Jack City dropped. 92, I think that's when 91, 92, something like that, is when Wesley Snipe hit and it was cool to be dark skinned. And her thing was it's really still not cool to be light skinned. I mean to be dark skinned as a woman now. Like you have little hits. But I think what tweaked me was what she said to me was most dark skinned men, and like I said again, which is word most. Her words were most dark skinned men. I'm sorry, she said she saw a post that said most dark skinned men don't like dark skinned women and talk down on them. And she said all through the comments, it was nothing but women, amen in this. And me as a dark skinned man, I was offended. And but her thing was I shouldn't have been offended by it. That basically if the shoe don't fit, then I should just kind of remove myself from it and allow them to feel that way without even speaking to it. And I just didn't think that was right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now we go back and forth, light skin, dark skin, because we got another group of us. We got a light skin cuz or whatever, and we go at it. We go at it. I also did tell her like sometimes you'll see me talk about a dark skinned person, but I do that because I feel like I'm dark and you're dark, so we kindred spirit. So I'm like, I'm that type. Like I think I should be able to say it, and should nobody like can't nobody else say it to you. Like say if we walk around like me and Jay or me and Nicole, we walking down the street or whatever, and a light skinned person be like, walk up to Nicole and be like, man, what's up? You your little girl, you so dark muddy. I'ma jump in there. No, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm gonna go off on them. But then I'm the same person gonna meet you like, girl, your dark ass, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we have a certain connection. You know what I'm saying? Like I walk up to people all the time, like if they got like, God damn, your eyes big. And I feel like I can say that because for all my life I've been told I have big eyes. So I figured, okay, we the same, so we can. It's like the N word, you know what I'm saying? We can say it to each other, but should nobody else be on that? But I don't see the fact of saying dark skinned men in a whole on a grand scale don't appreciate dark skinned women. I don't agree with that. So.
I'll just say it's probably just based off experience. um Somebody like you as a man would be like no, because you know how you probably feel about it and you probably around men that appreciate it or whatever, but you can't really understand a dark skinned woman's experience.
True.
So for me as a dark skinned woman, I don't feel like any lies were told, even though I don't know all dark skinned black men, but based off my experience and what I see, um you see the dark skinned men choosing light skinned women or mixed women or this or that. There was recently in this little group I'm in, it was a picture of, and when they do, and I'm not saying it's most, but this is just what I see. When they do compliment a dark skinned woman, it's because she has a banging body or she's sexualized or fetished after. It's not because, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Look at her skin. Oh, look at her face. She's beautiful. A light skinned woman can be pretty and not have a body and she's still desirable. A dark skinned woman has to have a body.
The
There
dark
was
skinned girl, the model, she ain't got nobody.
who?
Um, Black Panther. What's the girl name?
Well, we're not talking about movie stars because people tend to like celebrities and they don't even halfway be looking cute, but just because they're a celebrity they act like they fine as ever.
Okay.
So I'm just talking about regular. And they posted this woman, she looked like she was African or whatever. um she was dark skinned. To me she was beautiful, she was gorgeous, beautiful body. And most of the men, and they were dark skinned men in the comments, commenting on how her body is a 10, face a 3, you know. Um, but that's what I see all the time. And even on the documentary that I saw about dark skinned women and what they go through, I didn't realize this until I watched it. And she was talking about how, as a dark skinned woman, she felt like men are sexually attracted to her, you know, and that's what she gets. And I had to think like, dang. And I used to say this all the time. I'm like, yeah, guys be attracted to me, but they sexually attracted to me. And I never equated it to because I'm dark skinned. I just felt like guys are sexually attracted to me. They want sex and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then when I saw that documentary and how many black dark skinned women were saying that, yeah, they'll have sex with me, but they not trying to have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I've had relationships with guys and left me. We ain't gonna say left me, but we broke up. The very next person they with is like porcelain white, light skin. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's who they married, like right after me. Or a guy I was seeing didn't want to put, oh, you want to have sex, but you don't want to, I don't want to put labels on it. You know, I like what we have. But then when I leave that situation, you get into a relationship and you immediately claim this woman as your girlfriend and she's light skinned. So, and it might not even be, it might be a subconscious thing to him, but to a dark skinned woman who I've always been told I'm ugly because I'm dark skinned or she's too dark, coupled with me being skinny and not having no body too. So I'm dark skinned and ain't got shit. I got the double dose. So coming from hearing from a little girl, I remember being outside. You remember we lived on the west side, and downstairs the little girl Shanita. You remember them?
Mm-hmm.
I was in front of the house jumping rope, and her mama had a friend over. They sitting on a porch, and I'm out there jumping rope, and the friend goes, "Is that Shanita?" And she was like, "Oh no, that's the girl that live upstairs." She was like, "Oh," because I was gonna be like, "Whoo, when she get that dark?" So hearing stuff like that, and then when you get in relationships and guys treat you a certain way, but then you see them treat light-skinned women different, it makes us feel like it's because I'm dark skinned. And it might not even be that.
Jay, you look like you had something to say a couple times in there.
No, I was just gonna ask because I feel like if a guy or a woman for that matter, like preference is one thing, right? If it becomes an issue when you start to downplay whatever it is that it is doesn't fit your preference. So from what I'm hearing from what you just said, it doesn't sound like a guy like blatantly disrespected you or said like I ain't fucking with what it was you were looking for in those relationships, and then after the fact they ended up being with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I guess of a lighter skin pigmentation, but to me, I feel like I don't think that's the problem. You know what I mean? And like you said, it could just be subconsciously. Like it's not even because you're dark skinned. It could. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying this to be wrong. It could just be because he didn't want anything else with you. You know what I mean? And it's not because
No,
you're
no,
dark
I
skinned. It's
understand that. Right. I
so
understand.
like I feel like with don't get me wrong, colorism is an issue within our community. We all know that for a fact. But I also feel like in certain instances we get it confused. We get preference confused with colorism. And as long I feel like when a person starts to degrade whatever it is that doesn't fit their preference, that's when it's the issue. But just because a person wants to be with a light skinned person over a dark skinned person, that don't make it a bad thing.
Right. My thing is when you start, like I had a guy I was had a entanglement with, the one that tried to move in. I was telling y'all about. He tells me, he said light skinned girls have more flavor than dark skinned girls, whatever that means. Then he says, I would give an ugly light skinned girl a pass before I gave an ugly dark skinned girl a pass. So I said, so a light skinned girl already got one up on me just because she light skinned? He said, yeah, but not you because you pretty though. Not you.
But see, that's a preference thing. Because see, to me, I would give an ugly dark skinned girl a chance before I give an ugly light skinned girl a chance.
Honestly, I was like just thinking that in my head, and that kind of that's bad though, right? That's still bad
But that's my
because
preference.
it's your
You
preference.
know what I'm
But okay, ugly is what makes it bad. To say you're
right.
ugly, you see what I'm saying?
Why?
That's what makes it, because beauty isn't about how the beholder. Like just because a
Right.
person
And in
is
my
not
eyes, she
doesn't
ugly.
meet your standard of beauty doesn't necessarily make them ugly.
It does.
But I think he said that to just let me know that light skinned people got more flavor. They
Yes, that was
already got
ignorance.
1 point.
But back to this
They,
ugly thing. I mean, if she's ugly to me, that's my reality. She's ugly.
but and then Egypt experienced this at school. You know, at school, people tell her she's pretty to be dark skinned, and a boy actually told her, "Yeah, you cute and everything, but I couldn't have no kids with no dark skinned girl because I don't want no black nappy headed child."
Say you want a light skinned nappy
True
headed child.
story. True story.
And
I'm
these are
probably
kids thinking this
I'm
way.
getting cussed out for this one, but um, when I first met my wife's grandmother, like and her aunt, like immediately off the bat because I was dark skinned, I was ugly. Like it got to a point where a few years afterwards, like right after me and my wife got married, Now, you know, I was with my wife for a very long time before we got married. After we got married, her auntie saw me and was like, "Oh, damn! Since y'all got married, you got cute." You know what I mean? Like, I was written off. You know what I'm saying? Because I was dark skinned. Like, my grandma didn't want any dark great grandbabies. Like, none of that shit. So, like, I understand. Like, being a dark skinned person, period. Like, we all know the struggles. Like, especially when we was younger. Well, y'all was obviously a little bit ahead of me, but when I was younger, dark skin was you was dirty. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they say. You dirty because you dark skin, all that shit. So I understand it, but I just feel like we sometimes confuse preference with the colorism.
Um, let me see.
No, I have a preference. I like dark skinned guys. That's my preference. But I never act like dark skinned guys are so much better than light skinned guys.
Right.
Tristan Daddy light skin, Egypt Daddy light skin. But my preference is dark skin. But I don't try to make it like somebody dark skin could come along and because they're simply dark skinned, they're better than you
I don't think I've
because
ever
you
been
light
with a
skin.
light skinned
You know
woman.
what I mean? And that's how we are made
This
to feel.
wait. Did you hear what he just said?
What'd he say?
Repeat that bullshit you just said.
I said I don't think I've ever been with a light skinned woman.
Really, Mel?
What? My last
Oh.
girlfriend, her soul was dark skinned.
This mom. Boy.
She had a dark person soul. You know what I'm saying? I was with a semi light skinned woman and she was crazy.
Wow. Oh, she said don't entertain him.
I think sometimes we can take colorism or the thought of it a little too far and cause problems that are not there, especially between men and women because of a preference thing. There are definitely issues of colorism. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I think the only issue that I had when I was talking to my friend about it was the fact of the generalization of most. And like I say, and when I was telling her, when you say most like that, especially talking to a dark skinned man, you put me in that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just
Well,
make
she
it
didn't
better
say
by saying
all. She said most. So you
she
was
said she said most. She said most. But the thing about it is when she said most to me, I'm like, well, guess what? I talk to a lot of dark skinned men. I say because I really feel we kindred spirits. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dark skinned guy in the store and just not talking to him because he dark. You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn you black. You know what I'm saying? And we talk because that's the type of person I am. I'm like, I talk to a lot of guys, especially as dark skinned guys. I've been around them. And most of the guys I talk to love dark skinned women.
well, where they at?
That don't make it like the majority. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but most of the guys who I talk to, and like I was trying to say, I'm not saying there aren't some who just, you know what I'm saying, ignorant, who say stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying there are those guys out there. But I think my issue was that they put it on dark skinned men. If she would have just put it on men, because I can agree, most men in general, when you take them all, light skin, dark skin, white, Chinese, whatever, yes, the majority of men have an issue with dark skinned women because there's a preconceived notion about their attitude or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? There are
Dark
all those
skinned
things.
women or just black women?
Dark
Well,
skinned women.
that goes twice. That goes two ways.
I would say dark skin, and I would like to give examples real quick.
Well, it flips in the black community though. On a whole, now if
Well,
you
we
just
talking about
taking,
on the whole
I'm saying
how
if you just taking
everybody
men,
view
dark
us.
skinned women have attitude. But when you go into the black community, light skinned women have attitudes. Dark skinned women are basically pushovers because they figure dark skinned women are self conscious.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
In the black community, they figure light skinned women have attitudes. They think they better than whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting that you say that, and I say that because wanted to say as a whole, like societal, dark skinned women. When you look at stuff, shows like Martin, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Tisha Campbell was the married one, and the who, and then here go Tashina Arnold, the loud ghetto BDB. Then when you look at the Proud Family cartoon, Dejanay, the best friend, dark skinned with a blonde ponytail, loud and ghetto. You know what I'm saying? But Tristan, okay, I think I told y'all this before. I had two friends, one dark skin, one light. She mixed with Samoan, Hawaiian, black and Hawaiian. And one, she was a stripper, sweet as pie, sweet as ever. Oh my gosh, so sweet. Now the other one, she was
Like
she'll
sweet,
fight.
like sweet.
She'll fight now, okay? You turn around and say something, all she said, I'll beat that bitch up. You know what I'm saying? But guess who Tristan said was ghetto? The dark skinned one. Why?
Because she dark
Because
skinned.
she
That's what
dark
he.
skinned?
Mm-hmm. Because he dark skinned. That's what he's
You know what
taught.
he told me when he
Was
was
it
little?
because of
He
her
said he was
occupation?
little. Let me tell you what he told me when he was little. He said, dark skinned girls have attitude problems and they always got
That ponytail.
ponytails that's little bitty ponytails. He said light skinned girls and Mexican girls and white girls don't have attitudes and they have hair. Even though his dark skinned sister got hair down her back, like a lot of hair. But he still say, well, she don't count. Most dark skinned girls ain't got no hair, but they still try to put that little bit of hair in the ponytail.
I can say that the only part of that I agree with is that from my experience, specifically when I was younger, the dark skinned girls didn't have nothing
Got
but
no
the
hair.
girls, right? The dark skinned girls was the only ones. That ass nub right here. But
I
yeah,
wasn't though.
I'm pretty sure as he's grown, he's known that all women have attitudes. It ain't just the dark skinned ones. All women have attitudes.
That's what he say. I was little.
Yeah. But I mean, we also have to realize that it's a colorism just period in the black community. It's not even about men and women. It's just in our community, period. There's a Facebook page called Light versus Dark. You know what I'm saying? It's
Even within, like you were saying earlier, like we had a couple weeks back, we had a whole thread for like a day and a half going at is we got some light skinned people in our group chat and some dark skinned people in our group chat. And we was going back and forth. They sent that ugly ass picture of Wesley Snipes with the naked face. Had 13-year-old dark skinned boys look.
They did though. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all did look like that.
I look like that. I ain't gonna lie. I had the haircut, look like an old grown motherfucker. Man. Look like a young grown man or some shit. Yeah. Big eyes.
Man. But it is within the community, you know what I mean? Like we do that. We separate it because if you, like I said, the stereotypes behind the dark skinned people is we dirty, and specifically with men, the stereotype with light skinned men is they do everything feminine.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Hey, and most of their pictures prove it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So, but
man.
to me, I think the thing is, I think some people take it very seriously with the colorism. To me, it's all in fun because I figure we are a family anyway, and I think it's probably because we come from a family where we can talk
Come here,
about each
mama.
other and joke with each other, and everything is okay the next day or right after we finish. If you get me with a good one, I laugh at it, whatever. So, like when I'm out in the
Come
street
on.
and somebody say something about me being dark, I mean, most of the time I take it as a joke at first. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably even give them a pass. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh at it. If it ain't funny, I'm gonna go in. But they get one, and then I'm gonna go back too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ride them. But my thing is, my pause when I said that. But my thing is, you know what I'm saying? Even if I thought they was being malicious with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm still to the point like, oh, that's what we on. Okay. What you don't realize is I've been dark my whole life, bro. It ain't nothing you can say that I ain't heard. I mean, nothing. But I'm probably can say a lot of stuff about you that you ain't heard because I didn't have some practice throwing these darts. So it's to me, I don't really see it as a big issue, but my feelings ain't that involved in it. You know what I'm saying it's not big enough for me to go and make a Facebook post, you know what I'm saying, or go on social media and condemn everybody for colorism. If somebody don't like me because I'm dark, oh well, keep moving. I ain't your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying that's just
I
how I
think,
feel.
yeah, I
I've
think
heard dudes walk past me and say, "Ooh, she pretty, but I need a red bone."
my only issue is that the generalization. Like I don't want to put like all dark skinned women are this or all dark skinned men only like this. You know what I mean? Like I said, we can speak specifically to your experience, then I can't rebut that. I can't tell you what your experience was. But to put that generalization on everybody, I think is unfair. Either way you look
Yeah,
at it, as far as men or women.
I agree.
I mean,
Shaka says this is in just about every community. Colonization is real. Colorism is everywhere. China and South America teach that they need to date lighter folks because it is seen as better. That's true. We
I
know
mean, it's
that.
true. Nigerians bleaching themselves. It's bleaching cream is big over there.
Shit, y'all see Sammy Sosa?
Shit, he ain't the only
That boy
one. He
pink.
looked like a damn.
Look at Serena. Ain't she bleaching? What's going on with her?
Nah,
I
that
think
was
that
fake.
was a picture. Yeah, they
That
did
was
that
just
shit.
No, I've
makeup.
seen multiple pictures of her, and she looks like she's bleaching.
Nah, I seen it in the just what was that last one or whatever the U.S. Open? Nah, she ain't. Unless she went and got some sun before that or got in the tanning bed. I think most of them, that was a lot of makeup.
Maybe makeup.
And I think what they're trying to do with the makeup is, I think they call themselves trying to soften her, and it ain't working. I think to me, she looks better without makeup. And I'm gonna leave it at that. She looks better without makeup. I'm not trying to, what I'm saying, say nothing bad about her.
I got
Many
it.
Africans live without bleaching, yes.
And this is a off subject. With the little bit of time we got left, I wanted to talk about this because I've been watching a lot of sports shows lately, and I wanted to know like why all of a sudden, specifically us black people, we turned our backs on Shakari so fast. She lost one race, and now all of a sudden, nobody cares for her anymore. She was 2 months ago, everybody was crying because she couldn't get into the Olympics, and now all of a sudden, she loses the race, and now everybody laughing at her failure. Specifically, us.
At first, I thought it was just us being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we need to calm down, get off the little girl back. Some of it she kind of bringing on herself because she doesn't have any PR people. You know what I'm saying?
What did
She's
she
starting.
do to bring that
She's
on
starting
her?
to fight. She's starting to fight the world for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like she basically gave. What's the other black girl who was running? She was on one of the nights. She was on one of the talk shows overnight, and what she said was she was like, "Hey, look, what we need to do with Shakari, we need to support her." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "Look, she had a bad race, that's whatever, but we need to support her. She gonna bounce back. Everything gonna be fine." The very next morning, Shakari put out a thing like, "Supporting a person over TV is the same thing as everything else, nothing." You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, she ain't say nothing bad about you. You know what I'm saying? And you fighting the wrong people right now. And I understand that she was attacked. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though the interview, she was a little too hood in her interview as she went right after the race. But she's been that way throughout her career. When she was winning, it didn't matter how hood she was.
I don't feel no kind of way. I think from what I've read, other people comments and what people were saying, but this is even before she lost, before she raced, when she got suspended. A lot of people that I saw issue was that they were saying she was so too cocky, and so because of that, and then to lose, even though I still don't condone it, it's almost like black people
They wait for you. They can't
wait
wait
for
for you
you.
to
Yeah,
fail.
wait for you to
They be
fail to
happy
be
when you fail.
aha.
That's what Floyd. That's what drove. That what made Floyd Mayweather so much money. If he come back and box now, what makes him so much money is people can't stand the fact that he got that zero after that 50, and they just want to be there when he loses. So if he come out, if he come out with a fight tomorrow, he can come out and say he gonna box Jay. Ain't nobody ever heard of Jay. You know what I'm saying? Jay sits behind a computer all day and doing everything, but Floyd gonna box Jay. Is a chance he might lose. We gonna go watch this, and then after it, then it's gonna be he wasn't fighting nobody anyway. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna talk about after. It's the fact of once you are successful and you're good at what you do, the black community, we like to tear each other down. I mean, that's how it is. We can't wait for us to, you know what I'm saying, show a kink in the armor so we can start, you know what I'm saying, picking at it and trying to pry the arm off of you. So they was happy
See,
for her to lose that race.
my thing is, I don't see what she went wrong. She was authentically herself. She was hood and all that before that. She was cocky
She
before
was.
that.
She
Like
was.
I don't even want to say if she was saying she was cocky. Like because to me, I feel like if you're good and you feel like you're better than people and you've proven that you've been better than people, you should be allowed to say that. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I think the world it goes back to the world just being soft and people not wanting to hear you say how good you are. They want to be able to dictate how good you are. So until they anoint you to be the greatest, you can't because they did the same thing to Simone. When Simone
Right.
had that issue and she went to her stuff in the Olympics. Right before that, she was saying how good she was. She was the
And
GOAT,
she got the
and it
goat
was
put
proven
on her,
because
right? She got the
right,
goat put on her
it
uniform.
right,
Yeah, I
which
saw some
was
people make
she in
comments.
all she should have had. They was upset once when she lost. They was upset. You know what I mean? Now everybody says she felt she brought that on herself. But right before that, they said that they weren't even judging her based off
On the
her
same
skill
merits that
anymore
they was
because she was
judging
so
everybody else.
by everybody.
Right.
So it's like it's okay for you to tell me I'm great, but it's not okay for me to acknowledge my greatness. I don't think that's right. And the minute that I acknowledge my greatness, now you want to see me fail. And when I do fail, it's only because I said I'm good. But you can tell me I'm good all along, and if I fail, it's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I
They
The
only
thing
do
understand.
is,
that to
though, I
us
mean,
though.
and what I was going to say is, I didn't see anybody outside of us doing that to her. Not to say that nobody
Right.
did,
But I
but I
didn't see
didn't see.
nobody outside of us praising her either when she was winning. I just saw
The
black
thing
people
about the
embracing her.
outside people outside of us, they were just waiting for the Olympics. They don't care who it is that's representing us in the Olympics. They own Team America, whoever that is. So they like great. They wasn't gonna praise her before the Olympics because she whooping their ass. When now Olympic time is okay, it's us against them. Shikari would have been on Wheatie boxes and everything if she'd won the Olympics. But if you notice, when it comes time when she lost, they just checked out. Okay, she lost, whatever. They on about their business. It was us, and we used that interview as
To
the
justify being on the
right. You know what I'm
bandwagon
saying?
of her failure.
Right. You know what
Can
I'm
I
saying?
say
And
something
it's
real?
like this interviews. Yeah, go ahead.
Huh. I want to say something real quick. Shaka had made a comment about this going back to Serena when we were talking about the makeup. She said, "Oh, get her some Fenty." Girl, I got me some Fenty makeup, and when you put that on, you wait, we put it on, it like blends into your skin. It look like your skin. Rihanna is the business. Yes, I got me some Fenty. I don't have it on now, but when I put that on, woo! But I just wanted to say that. Okay,
Oh,
carry
okay.
on.
All right, cool.
You're gonna have
Yeah,
to
see this
stop
shit.
doing
I'm giving these
promotions.
free
What was it?
plugs.
Fashion for right? Yeah, we ain't finna be doing that for free now.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, they did. And like I said, she was but we said this before when she first got in trouble with the weed. She need a PR person. She need PR person. She needs some type of media training. Cause like she was a little too turned, you know what I'm saying, after that. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's because she lost, so she was trying to show that she was cool.
I think media training though is it's overrated at this point because people were drawn to her because she was so unfiltered. You know what I mean? People were drawn to her.
They weren't
They didn't
drawn to
even know her
her.
name before. They listen. They knew her as the
the
fast
girl
girl
with
with the
the
blonde
orange
hair.
hair, the
But
girl
the
with the orange hair and the nails.
orange nails. They didn't. That's what they wanted to see her for. You know what I mean? So
I
you
understand that
can't say.
part. I'm not talking about the image. I'm talking about to speak like the big
But
issue,
she
like
was
right
doing
after
that
the
from the
race.
beginning.
I
When
never heard
she
the
when she
interview.
won that when she won that first race, she was talking to one of the announcers. In the middle of her talking to that announcer, she stopped talking to whoever it was after she won that race. She stopped in the middle of that because it was right after her mother died. She stopped in the middle of all that, ran up and was herself, ran out to the crowd, gave her grandma a hug, and was talking as hood as she was when she lost that race. So
Yeah,
all
but
this
no, when she gave that interview, she wasn't. She was, yes, and I think she was not talking like she, because I don't really care about that, but I didn't watch the interview until recently. I just happened to click on it when they was talking about the girl smirking behind her. When I clicked on it and watched that, I was kind of like, oh, she was not like that in the first interview. She was real. And can't nobody take that from me. Congratulations to the ones who won. No, she was not like that the first time. The
I
first time
think
she was her, you could tell she from the hood, but she was not like that when she
she was a little
lost.
over too, and you know what I'm saying? Fuck this, I'm gonna be flat back. They can't motherfucking take this shit from me. I was like, oh
there wasn't none of that. You put a lot on that one.
no, she said that.
She didn't say fuck this. No, she
Yes,
did.
she did. Yeah, yes, she did.
No, she did.
Cause
No, she did. She did not curse, cuz.
She did curse.
No, she didn't.
She cursed. She
What
cursed.
a
No.
producer
Man,
at. He can't find that video right
find
quick.
that video. Shh. I'm telling you, she cursed.
She said fuck this. She ain't
Yes.
say fuck this. Nah,
I
hell
don't know
no.
if it
I
was
saw
before or
that.
after,
I missed that.
She cursed, cause trust me, cause when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Cause at first I'm thinking, cause at first they just showed a little clip with her bouncing and talking about some, this ain't nothing. I'm gonna be back. So I'm like, why is everybody saying she ghetto? Then I watched the entire interview. She cursed a couple times. And I mean,
I missed that.
yeah.
I saw the interview when
Shaka
she
said
was
they
just like,
forgot to
"This ain't
bleep.
nothing." I saw the part when she was just like, "This ain't nothing. I'm gonna be back. Congratulations to the winners, but this is just a setback. I'll be back and all that shit." Like I ain't hear a curse. I ain't see that.
After that, she kept going. She was like, "Some fuck it, they can't take nothing from me." I'm telling you, she got a little more Inglewood. So, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah.
I didn't like the fact that specifically us took a lot of pride in her losing. Like, and then it's everybody once she lost, and the lady that won, she was Jamaican or whatever. Now everybody got Jamaican pride. All of a sudden, everybody got Jamaican heritage
Making
now.
in
Like
they got Jamaican in their blood.
Like, that shit killing me.
All right, one more thing before we get out of here. Ja Rule or Fat Joe?
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. I can't name not one Fat Joe song.
Lean Back.
I know plenty of Fat Joe
Okay,
songs. You
Lean
got
Back, but
Brand,
Ja Rule.
Lean Back. Yeah, Ja Rule is it ain't close. Like, to be honest, it ain't a lot of people that can beat Ja Rule in the verses. It's not. They can talk that shit because what happened between him and 50. But if you talk about hits, it ain't a lot of rappers, and you can put him up against some of the best, and he'll wash their ass. Ja Rule ran the 90s, bro.
Murder Inc.
If 50 Cent wouldn't have came out, Ja Rule, whatever, he was the rapper. They was Ja Rule featuring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Ja Rule had hits.
I was going,
and I like Joe.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think I like Joe, but I don't think it's gonna be close.
I think it depends on the presentation. I think.
I don't think it matters, bro.
And
I think
he
for
might
one,
bring Ashanti out. He gonna kill Fat Joe.
And the problem is
he might bring Remy Ma out though, huh?
But they two different rappers. You know what I mean? Like the songs, the commercial success that Ja Rule had, Fat Joe's pales in comparison. Like it's not even close. It ain't gonna be close. You could take Fat Joe's biggest record, and it wouldn't scratch Ja Rule's third biggest record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's gonna be close. But I think it's also because of who they put him up against. Like, I think him and maybe like if they wouldn't have did Nelly and I forget who the fuck he went against, Ludacris. But if they would have did like Ja Rule and Nelly, it would have been a little close. Yeah,
I missed it.
If they did like a Ja Rule versus
in my Air Force Ones.
That would have been closer because they commercial success and their runs was kind of the same.
Why Shaka in here like she be listening to Ja Rule or something? She murder.
Yeah. So I don't think I hate to say it like that because Joe got hits too, but I don't think it ain't gonna be close. It ain't a lot of rappers that could hang with Ja Rule in a verse.
Oh shit! You gotta think, y'all.
Ja Rule had hits, man, hits on hits. With
Ashanti. Is that a mannequin she got back there? What the fuck?
Yeah, they did look like somebody was standing. She got up. That motherfucker started moving. We got to watch that.
What the hell? She gonna sit down and get back up. It's gonna be right behind the couch.
Yeah, and honestly, no, that's not even one that I'm looking. I'm not even really too much looking forward to that because to me, I felt like that's just a clash. Like they don't look like a good on paper. It's not even a good match.
I think they're just trying to get Ja Rule in on somebody just because he can't get with 50.
He can't get with 50?
Yeah.
And honestly, if they were to do a versus, he would be 50. And 50, I like 50 way better than I like Ja Rule. But if we talking hits, it ain't close. It ain't close.
I think Ja Rule should have did they should have did Ja Rule in LL. They got a lot of songs.
Ja Rule watched LL. I think Ja Rule watched.
Ja Rule should have done LL or he should have did Fabulous.
He gonna watch both of them. It ain't.
The music is the same. The genre is the same. Both, all them
I
trying to do like.
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but it still ain't gonna be close. It ain't gonna be close.
I don't know, cause you thought Dipset was gonna watch the locks.
And that was a vast overstatement. I was wrong. But
Girl,
I don't think I'm
lying
good.
to? You don't even know. She can't tell you one Jay-Z song.
I can.
How I know she was gonna throw Bill Withers in there though.
New Bill was the first one out of her
That's her
mouth.
man.
You good, Nicole? You got him ran off like something was wrong.
I forgot I had food in the oven. I put it in there
Who the hell is
at
old girl behind
7:30.
you? Who the hell is old girl behind you?
Who?
Old
Who's
girl behind you.
Oh, my head.
That look like a whole body.
It's on a stand. It's a mannequin head. It's on a stand though.
Well, we thought you had a Chucky doll in there, motherfucker.
No, that's when I was in hair school. You know, you had a head, so we could do hair on it. I cut the hair off so that I can use
They can let it grow back.
So I can use it for my wigs. Like if I want to style a wig or something, or make a wig, I use that head.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, y'all, I appreciate everybody coming out. We can get out of here. Jay won't be here next week, so he got to tell y'all buying high twice, you know.
I know y'all can see that junky room. I guess still got boxes to unpack.
Wow, when you got up and moved, we saw that body back there.
New, so next time you get up, the cuz said that motherfucker gonna be standing directly behind you.
Right at the couch. Big ass eyes, just. You lucky I ain't one of your kids, because I'd have been moved on you right now. Been crawling on the floor.
Please, it already scared Tristan, because where did we have it? In the bathroom. Egypt had it in the bathroom, and he went in the bath. All I heard him holler. I'm like, what's wrong? You okay? Y'all shouldn't do that. Y'all need to put this up.
I told this girl she don't know a Jay-Z song. She said, I got 99 problems, but a pimp ain't one.
But she a pimp ain't one? Oh, you know Shaka ain't gonna curse.
Shaka who don't curse?
Shaka.
What?
Shaka don't curse. I can't even hear her curse. I can hear her voice in my head right now. It doesn't curse.
I heard her curse before.
Sick of this shit.
All right, y'all, we gotta get out of here. I got places to be, people to see.
Yeah, I got to take Egypt to Walmart before they close.
Right.
Don't let the black power fool you.
What? Oh, I don't know what the hell he talking about.
Talking about Shaka, I guess.
Okay.
Well.
Up in the go. Like I said before, y'all, if y'all out in the south suburbs this weekend, we got pep rally tomorrow, so we're gonna be out at the park, music, games, feeding the kids, stuff like that. Sunday we got the game. It's at Thornridge. Jay, have you seen a game in 16 years? I think you came to like the field once. Did you stay for the game actually? Is he froze?
He acted
our game last year. I was at a game.
I said I remember you coming to the field. I said,
last year I was at a game.
You was at the game?
I stayed for the whole game. Yeah. I was there with your daughter.
I don't remember you staying. That's what I'm asking. I said I remember you coming. I asked that you stayed. Because then you take her, y'all left early because you took her to the crib. You took her.
We left after the game. Yeah, we left after the game. Because my man was
Maybe
coaching the team. Yeah, I got y'all ass whooped.
Yeah. Nah, I wasn't coaching on that team.
You wasn't coaching. My man was coaching.
Yeah.
They got their ass whooped.
They got better though. Certain people bring her to curse. Let's get out of here. Okay, like I said, so Sunday we at Thornridge. We started at 3 o'clock. We started at 9 o'clock, and then the last game starts at 3:30. So that's 5 games throughout the day. 6-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and 14-year-olds. If y'all want to see some really fun football, those 6 and 8-year-old games be great, amazing. You know what I'm saying, pure football. They just be out there bumper cars. You know what I'm saying, they be trying their best. The older kids, but It's all fun. Y'all come out there. We got people on the grill. There's gonna be a lot of food out of the park. A lot of music going on at the park. So come hang out with us. Other than that, thank y'all for showing up. Subscribe, like, follow, tell your friends.
Share. Most
Oh,
important,
I got
share.
something else to say too before y'all go. Or I'm gonna be feeling like, dang, I forgot to share this story real quick. When I used to work at the jail in Houston, right? This dude come in, I'm talking to him, this defendant, and he says to me that I was the first, he never seen a pretty dark-skinned girl before besides me. I was the first dark-skinned he ever seen. And I don't know if I thought it was supposed to be a compliment. I wanted to like put another charge on him.
You should have put the Charger line on him.
I'm just like, really? And then he said, black woman, really?
He was just trying to get out that jam. He thought you was gonna be able to help him out.
That's what that was. You call it.
No, he was only in there for driving on a suspended license, so he wasn't finna be in there.
He was trying to get out of there. He didn't want to be. He didn't want to get booked.
But yeah, these dudes be crazy. But anyway, carry on, Beyonce.
I was finna get it to the stage. I mean, I'm finna get a mic to my background singer. So you already took your turn. So now mute her. Jay, anything you need to say to the people?
Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Share, share, share. We need to grow, and we need y'all help.
Don't be muting my mic.
All right, with that, I'm out of here. We'll catch y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.